Okay, now we're going into game 2. I can only assume Kit is going to try and rethink his game plan in terms of his leads, considering that perhaps Matthew's conk counter was just a bit too slightly bulkier than he might have anticipated. Wonder what he's going to be able to do to overcome that. His team doesn't look exactly prepared for Conqueror, say for Whimsicott, so might be a bit of a tough matchup here.
Could be.
Guess it also depends on what Jellison is running. Haven't seen that yet. Jellison actually does have probably a decent matchup against Conkelda as well, although we've seen knockoff earlier. So I don't think it's as definitely afraid of Conkelda as Chandelier would be, since Jellison does have a bit of natural bulk. I can anticipate the kid's going to try and play Whimsicott a lot more conservatively this time, since its fairy typing is certainly going to be really crucial in this match.
And then again, its fairy typing is probably only useful against Conkelda.
Indeed, but if Kid has no way to take out Conkelda, it's going to be a really tough game for him, since the rest of his team doesn't exactly like facing out against Conkelda.
That's true.
Hydreigon, Terrakion, and the two ghosts would rather stay with Terrakion if possible, although they aren't exactly a bad matchup either, since it kind of forces Conkelda to use knockoff, and knockoff can only be used once per Pokemon. So
of course, it also depends whether Conkelda what kind of moves Conkelda is running, because we've seen
Drain Punch, Mark Punch, and knockoff. Pretty much. Yeah, we haven't actually seen Conkelda's item yet, I believe.
knockoff is quite threatening for the ghost types.
Yeah, indeed. But if they can avoid the first knockoff, generally they'll be able to hit back hard. So it's not that too bad an idea to just absorb a knockoff in exchange for a kill. Okay, we see Whimsicott and Jellison coming out, as was somewhat expected. Well, Matt leads with Darmanitan and Stoutland. Stoutland's an interesting choice. We don't really see much anywhere else.
What Stoutland does in VGC 11. Do you have any idea what?
It's, as you can see here, it has Intimidate. That's probably one of the main reasons to use it, given that there are only, I think, 3 Intimidate users in the Unova Dex. Stoutland probably one of the bulkier ones, actually, apart from Scrafty, so quite interesting to see what it does here.
Well, Jellison's ghost attacks will not affect that Stoutland.
And, well, Darmanitan is actually in a bit of a precarious position here, depending on what item Kid is running on his Jellison. I don't think we have any indication as to whether it actually might be Scarfed yet, so if it is Scarf, it's going to be able to fire off a really powerful Water Spout onto Darmanitan before it can move, which could potentially take it out.
Darmanitan sits at base 80 while Jellison sits at base 60, right?
Darmanitan's like, I think, 95 speed, if I'm not wrong, or Jellison's 60, so Jellison needs Scarf to outspeed it and net the KO. Intimidate actually not doing anything here for Matt, unfortunately, since both Jellison and Whimsicott are likely to be specially based. And honestly, Whimsicott's not exactly in a really good position right now by being in here. As we can see, it opts to protect. Doesn't want to take any damage from the other two.
Oh!
Ooh, Stoutland launches off a Helping Hand. Interesting choice. Didn't really expect that.
Oh! And now we see it.
Jellison, aiming for a Rock Slide. They're trying to net the kill to perhaps flinch Jellison, but unfortunately it misses, and Jellison is able to fire off a Hydro Pump in retaliation and knocks out Darmanitan.
Well, that's one Pokemon down for Matt. I think that was
quite a crucial miss there, actually.
Yeah, considering that Darmanitan was moving faster, it was his Scarf Pokemon.
Not quite sure yet. We don't really know Jellison's item, so could be anything.
That's true.
Conkelda back out on the field. I'm probably going to try and take out the Jellison with knockoff, although it wouldn't like facing off against Whimsicott either. Actually, once again here you see how crucial turn 1 was in this format. It's always your lead matchups in such a fast-paced format are always essential in actually determining the outcome of the game. So it's really hard to swing the momentum back if you lose, turn 1 in a way you weren't really anticipating. Okay, Jellison fires off another Hydro Pump, this time onto Conkelda. Barely doing about a third, I think. Perhaps indication of
the item that Conkelda is wearing, but
Moonblast fires off, and it's enough to take out Conkelda. And just like that, Matt's down by 2 Pokemon.
If that Conkelda was Assault Vest, Moonblast actually did quite a fair amount of damage to it, didn't it?
Probably isn't Assault Vested then, actually.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, we see Matt is left with his Stoutland and Whimsicott. Unfortunately, that was really fast. Lead for Kit Meng.
That's a
Jellison clearly doing work here.
Yeah.
That really just once again does show you just how crucial lead matchups are in this format. Insanely fast paced, and just the wrong play on turn 1 can just cause you to lose all momentum. It's a bit hard to recover, and that's it. Jellison switches out, and we see a Scavalier coming back in. Interesting choice, something you would normally see that often.
Predicting the grass attack switch, perhaps?
Yeah, indeed. Smart play by Kit Meng there. I don't think Matt was expecting that. Well, Kit's own Whimsicott fires off Moonblast on the Stoutland. Barely doing much, not doing much actually. And Stoutland fires off a return. Incredibly
Critical
powerful
hit.
with a critical hit.
But Whimsicott survives barely.
Oh, it's interesting to see a Escavalier here right now actually, since Escavalier is a really slow Pokemon. We wouldn't normally see it outside of Trick Room since it's
That's it.
so hard to use because of how slow it is.
Personal experience.
Yeah.
That's it. Scavalier actually has a pretty good matchup against that Whimsicott person.
Yeah. I don't actually think Matthew has any way of touching a Escavalier right now. Save for the surprise Fire Fang from Stoutland.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Which is very good for Kit here.
Or he could hope for the Focus Sash Endeavor.
Yeah, Matt's only out here would be able to pull off perhaps a 1 HP Endeavor into Scavalier and taking out Stoutland, though Kit probably knows that and probably is going to try and avoid putting Whimsicott in a position where he can get away with it. We'll have to see how it goes here.
The Pokemon in VGC 11 not being very bulky is...
We are certainly looking at the less bulky portion of the metagame here, since I mean, look at Escavalier, it's really bulky.
That's true, but
pretty much useless outside the Trick Room, so maybe Kit can make it work, I don't know, I don't think I've ever seen it.
his Whimsicott decides to go for the Tailwind.
Tailwind. Interesting choice. Perhaps Escavalier might actually have speed investment to capitalize on Tailwind. Okay, Matt opts to knock out Kit's Whimsicott just before just after Tailwind is set up. Perhaps Kit wanted to avoid the split tie and just tried to set up a Tailwind and hope it came in handy after this.
And here comes Terrakion.
Terrakion comes back in. Tailwind was certainly crucial then, since now on with Tailwind, Kit's Terrakion is going to be able to outspeed Matthew's Whimsicott and avoid taking damage before he can fire off a Rock Slide, perhaps fishing for a flinch. Yeah. We've only seen Escavalier protect so far. Wonder what it's going to do now. Probably trying to get a kill here or something. Stoutland launches off a helping hand on the Whimsicott. I think Matt's trying to go for the kill with Moonblast. And Kit goes for the close combat on Stoutland, taking it out. And I would anticipate that Escavalier is going to go for the Iron Hit now. Okay, yeah, Whimsicott goes for a Moonblast, which should take out Terrakion given its defense drop from close combat. But
Terrakion reveals a sash.
Okay.
Scavalier goes for a knockoff, probably knocking off that Focus Sash.
Oh yeah, knocking out the Focus Sash so Whimsicott can't pull any 1 HP Endeavor shenanigans anymore. Very conservative and smart play by Kit there.
I think this game is pretty much
Indeed, yeah. I don't think Matt is going to come out of this anymore, since Whimsicott doesn't like facing off against Escavalier at all, given it's weak to its Steel type stab, I believe. I believe Fairy is resistant to Bug, so it's no longer weak to Bug.
By this time, Whimsicott has already revealed all of his moves, right?
Have we seen all? We've seen Attack, Moonblast, Endeavor.
Yeah, it's revealed all his moves already. It does not have HP Fire, which might be able to turn it around.
Which means that Kit's going to be able to fire off probably an Iron Hit right now. And yep, it's essentially sealing the game for him. Which means we're moving on to game 3 since both Kit are tied for 1 win each right now. Interesting comeback here, I guess. We can see how Kit's new strategy, which was to rely on Whimsicott a bit more, suddenly paid off. Jellison was excellent. Proved quite excellent, quite clutch in this game. Not able to kill on Damanitan and helping to take out Conkelda.